Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The Netheroo circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the Benz. Red and blue, purple like Prince. 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 We feeling the urge, feeling the purge. Buzzers electric, we feeling the surge. Feeling the words, killing the birds with immunity. Pillars of unity. This is the formula of Voltron. This is the age of the Ultron. This is the same stage as the Pope on. This is the sage you can smoke on. Copper pound, came on the scene, I was copper down. All I was missing was copper crown. Summer 16, I turned copper brown. Look for revenge in the copper town. Capping the jersey and copper crown. 21 guns, salute chopper sound. My power pieces, the crystals be talking, the cloth that be talking. King County clothing, yeah, king of New York, and I'm Christopher Walken, the missiles embarking. Pistols be talking, 21 hammers with country, the grammar, the broken, the English. I'm on 100%. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The Netheroo circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the Benz. Red and blue, purple like Prince. 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 Charges of federal, orders incredible. Markers indelible, sparkers immeasurable. Sparking the medical, parkers on pedestal. Sharks for that revenue, hawks for what's edible. Heart full of vegetables, art at the festivals. Heart no cholesterol, sharp on those episodes. I'm on 100%. I like when summer begins. I need my hundreds and tens. I need 100%. Go independent like Prince. I'm on 100%. I like when summer begins. I need my hundreds and tens. I need 100%. I like when summer begins. Whoa, I'm on 100%. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The Netheroo circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the Benz. Red and blue, purple like Prince. 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 Alright. Peace to the family. What's good, y'all? Hold on, let's play a little bit of tunes, some tunes while y'all get in here.
Anthem on the track. Yeah. Anthem on the track. Live from the land of snakes. Anthem on the track. Yeah. Yeah. King shit. Yeah. Yeah. Love. From the city where the bums rich. Skyscrapers block the rays when the sun hits. One time coming, niggas run quick. By the time a baby walk, he got a gun grip. I was made for this, yeah. I was made for this. I was made for this, yeah. I was made for this. I'm not a product of the cages that the grace is in. Bred to be a king, I'm not a slave to this, yeah. I was made for this, yeah. I was made for this. I was made for this, yeah. I was made for this. I'm not a product of the cages that the grace is in. Bred to be a king, I'm not a slave to this.
They don't know fact from fiction. They don't know the blacks is missing. They don't know they trapped in prison. They don't know the path to prison was a math decision. They don't know the wrath is quickened. They don't know the ass they kissing on the path of mission to put their ass in prison. They don't know black religion, fact and fiction. They don't know mama didn't leave them niggas half the kitchen with half a chicken. Fact or fiction. We still hot, we still noble. Red and blue pill global. No bad as the language, we still mobiles. We lost Gil Scott, then we lost Gil Noble. Exercise the right to live like it is. The revolution will not be televised, it's being digitized. On the come up, it's like watching the midget rise. Sleeping giants grow another 20 feet tall with each alliance. I can teach the science, I tear an instrumental down before I lay my pencil down. I'm going down to Tinseltown and burn the temples down and cap it up like tinsel crowns. And my rights to reserve, fear of a black Illuminati. I might just drill with the Bilderberg to come and kill you nerds. I'm shining like a Grammy host on the shores of Miami coast. I'm a regular plug looking like Sammy Sosa, the old one when he was well done like Granny's roast.
Alright, there you go, there you have it. Made for this. Off the Scorpion King album. You already know what it is. Love and light to the family. Peace to everybody in the building tonight. This is your brother Red Pill, and this is Melanin Mondays 24. All right. Pardon me. I know that we're starting out late and whatnot, and I'm not going to be that loud because people are sleeping in the house. So, you know, I'm gonna be giving up the information, but I can't be too super loud, all right? But Melanin Mondays 24. This episode we're gonna be talking about the SANETERTVAWARDS. This episode we're gonna be talking about the Paradigm Shifters, an event that we participated in on Sunday with our brother Ben X, our brother Rizza Islam, our brother 19 Keys, and our brother Derek Grace. And there was a few other brothers and sisters that were in the building on Sunday in Brooklyn, in Flatbush, Brooklyn. All right? Shout out to Flatbush. Hold on, where's my Flatbush shirt? Hold on. Yeah. Shout out to the Flatbush Massive, man. Alright, but we was in our old neighborhood on Sunday, raising the vibrations with the people. This is glow in the dark too. When you shine light on it, it's a reflector. This shit is fire. Alright. My peoples was selling this at the festival and at the International Arts Festival. They was killing it with those. But anyway, the what was I talking about? Damn, I lost my train of thought. Right. Peace to the fam, peace to the fam. Sure. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook simultaneously, so y'all gotta bear with me. But I got a new Macintosh, I got a new computer. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the fund to get this new piece of hardware and whatnot. As you can see, I began doing editing and doing trailers. So I'm gonna be back in the lab. So you're gonna see a lot of improvement with the Melanin Mondays. You're gonna get a lot of intros, you're gonna get outros, just more editing and whatnot, upgrades on the camera work, upgrades on the lighting and everything. So, we're all walking this pace by pace. We're all getting better daily. We're all improving. We're all leveling up. And that's what this weekend was all about. Primarily, it was about the leveling up. You know what I mean? It was about the forming of Voltron, in Flatbush when we were linking up with our brothers, the Paradigm Shifters, brother Ben X, brother 19 Keys, brother Derek Grace, brother Rizza Islam. These brothers, the information that they were bringing, the level of information that they were bringing and the way they work off of each other, that Nation of Islam, that young generation, the way that they think scientifically and they're able to bring forth facts in a non-emotional, egotistical manner and whatnot. If anybody's seen the video that Brother Rich put up on Black Magic 363 with the brothers from the Paradigm Shifters, Brother Ben X, Rizza Islam, and 19 Keys, then you know what I'm talking about. Those brothers brought a higher level of intellect to that conversation. And if you haven't seen the video, go to Black Magic 363 and check it out. Brother Rich just uploaded it this morning. I think it's already in the thousands at like 12 or 13,000. You know what I'm saying? It's a powerful combination of brothers. The brother Derek Grace, if anybody's not familiar with Derek Grace, that's the brother who has the tattoos on his face and the locks, diamond teeth, and he teaches his children how to load weapons and defend themselves. And they know how to defend themselves at the ages of 5 and 2 and 7. He homeschools them. He has written curriculums, which I participated in and bought. I bought multiple books from the brother. I'm reading them as we speak. And the brother is self-made, very independent-minded, and he talks about a lot about being self-reliant and about the family organization structure, about keeping the family structure intact, doing whatever that you have to do in this age of entrepreneurism and this economic climate that we live in, this new digital era, this technological boom. This is a land of opportunity that we exist in right now. Don't ever let anybody tell you anything differently, because if they did try to tell you that, they would only be trying to keep you ignorant to what's taking place, because they're trying to take advantage of you. There's no other reason why somebody would not ring the alarm or blow the air horn or pull your coattail and inform you about the days and the times that you're living in right now and the opportunity that's presenting itself. Like, you can't fall into the victimhood bag. You dig what I'm saying? You can't fall into the why me pen. You know what I mean? You can't act like, somebody's not doing something for you or some shit is not working out for you. You're not working out. You know what I mean? You might not be working out. Did you ever think about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not be working out. That's why it's not working out for you. You don't even know what you're working. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Also, what took place other than the SANETERTVAWARDS, which was monumental, and we're going to talk about that tonight, and the PARADIGMSHIFTERS gathering in Brooklyn, which took place on Sunday. We're going to go into further about that as well. We also had the pleasure of going to Nicholas Bookstore and seeing our sister Zaza Ali. Okay, our sister Zaza Ali, she was doing a presentation in Nicholas Bookstore. And family, when I tell you that this sister has elevated the level of her teaching and the level of, just the way that she delivers her information in a more cohesive, manner, I would definitely, I would tell you, if you have the opportunity to see her speak, make sure you're in the building. Because YouTube is one thing. Looking at people on your phone, that's one thing. Seeing them live, seeing them actually moving in real life, that's a whole nother thing. This is just one experience. This experience is rather unique. But this experience pales in comparison into the actual real life meeting of a person. Like, even at the meeting of the PARADIGMSHIFTERS that we had in Brooklyn, there was a statement that I made when we were having a dialogue between Blue Pill was having a dialogue with Rizza Islam, 19 Keys, and Brother Ben X, and Brother Derek Grace was also having that dialogue. So I added on, and I was saying to the family that were in the building about the power of the now, the fact that we can't argue, we can't worry, we can't speak any kind of lack or any kind of restriction or any kind of limit, because that's something that, quote unquote, black or black people, we suffer from limits. I know me and my journey in my life, there was limits that I've suffered. There was limitations that were imposed. It was almost akin to an embargo. When you have people when there's an embargo, there's a limit to certain things. That's what we are as a people. There's an embargo on our people. There's an embargo on us on a spiritual plane. There's an embargo on us by people who are around us. You know what I'm saying? They have an embargo around us. Like, they keep certain kind of vessels and ships with supplies and resources from docking in our bay. and unloading. That, you know what I mean? Like, that shit exists, bro. You know, that's why you have to keep it circled very, very completely parasite free and very small. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where they be working at magic, bro. Motherfuckers will have an embargo all around you to block your blessings or your blessings. The reason why people are not getting anything worthwhile because they're asking for blessings. And blessings, the etymology of blessings is bloodletting. So they're getting what they're asking for. There's a lot of bloodletting attached to the quote unquote smoke and mirror blessings that people think that they be getting from the motherfucking Jesus, or maybe the trap god or the pimp god Sherrod. Because guess what? If you want your blessings just to be a foreign car, or if you want your blessings to be an unlimited supply of Nike Airs and whatnot, or Jordans and whatnot, or if you want your blessings to be, money that you got in an ill-gotten way, then the blessings usually come with a bloodbath afterwards. Because I could count on 800 people's hands, both of them, and their toes, the amount of people that we all know collectively who went out there trying to get that kind of blessings, and they got what they asked for in that form of blood, what the word stands for. That's exactly what a lot of people was getting. You know what I'm talking about? All of those people who made it in the hood, who pop out and they came through dripping, you know what I'm talking about? But they only last one summer. You know what I mean? These niggas is like fireflies. They don't have longevity. There's not a lot of people that I know who have a 20 or 30-year run in my hood. These niggas is not Kenyan in my hood. They're not keeping up on the marathon. They're not running the race like TK. Not in my hood. Niggas done got their legs cut a long time ago. Okay? They done turned them horses into glue a long time ago. The motherfucking horses fell off of them niggas USA polo shirts very long time ago. So it's about longevity. This is about a race, family. This is about consistency. You underdig me? That's what these awards was. This is what the recognition of an award, you know what I mean? That's what it denotes. Not every single award or not every single reward, but a certificate of appreciation. Hey, a certificate of achievement. Pardon my French. You know what I'm talking about? That comes from consistency. That comes from hard work. I guarantee you that if there was an award show every year since I was out here in the kitchen cooking, whipping up a stir fry, we would get recognized for contributions. I'm not trying to go home with all of the hardware. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody has a mantle that they need to dress up, so I'm willing to share. But I know that I would be able to do things or walk away with recognition for doing the work, because it's not about anything else at the end of the day but the work. Whether it's the work that you're doing on yourself or the work that you could do vicariously on millions of people while you're doing the work on yourself. That's a very, that's an honorable thing to be able to do. That's an honorable journey to be able to walk, to be able to affect and improve and uplift and enhance. You know what I'm talking about? And, upgrade millions of people, thousands of people, hundreds of people, one person. It ain't about its quality, not quantity. It's about quality of membership. So it could be 10 people that you turn on, or that you are able to give a red pill to, or that you're able to decode some shit and strip down the veil and change their perception. And then they wake up and then the world around them is completely different from the world that was there the day before. And then as they put their glasses on, they begin to see a whole world unveil itself from around them. Because remember, we only see what? 10% of the light spectrum. So that means that 90% of potential or potentiality exists in the realm of the unknown. The only way that it could be brought into reality is that you got to bring it into reality. You either have to write it into reality, or you have to perform it, or you have to ritualize it, or you have to, you know what I mean? You have to do some form of labor, some form of action. You can't do it by talking. You dig what I'm saying? You just can't. You could speak things into existence, but there's an action, a kinetic action that has to follow up after you finish bumping your gums. I don't just talk about certain things. I apply kinetic pressure. I beat the concrete. You dig what I'm saying? I'm consistent. My machine has been going nonstop longer than a lot of people who are out here on the information highway. My shit been a Tesla since you niggas was worshiping wrestlers. That's a bar, so nobody take that. All right? Like we've been on our solar Tesla drawing energy. We don't need gasoline money. We don't need oil money. We riding off the sun, my guys. We riding off the sun. I'm not alone. It's a whole bunch of us. So on Saturday, the brother had the opportunity to be in the building, you know what I'm talking about, to honor a litany. The SANETERTVAWARDS Awards, we had the opportunity to see a multitude of speakers, teachers, lecturers, scholars, babas, mamas, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, legends, icons. You know what I'm talking about? Gods, Moors, Hebrews, occultists, metaphysics, African traditional system practitioners, you know what I'm saying? Yoruba priests and priestesses, Kemetic Nile Valley priestesses, Brother Melchizedek, Brother Wesley Muhammad, our brother Ben X from the Nation of Islam. All three of these brothers were honored with awards at different times. They were honoring Louis Farrakhan, but they were also honoring the other brothers and sisters that are inside of the Nation of Islam, who the world needs to know their names and know their contributions and become aware of what they're doing by way of the Nation of Islam to keep that name alive, to keep that information alive, to keep that way of teaching alive. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that these young boys is, I'm telling you, go and watch whenever you get a chance to watch the Paradigm Shifters, go and pay attention to what these brothers are out here doing with this information and how they're updating the information that they receive and how they're utilizing the toolbox that they were fashioned with by being members of the Nation of Islam and the Fruit of Islam, which is a very scientific, philosophical organization. And you know, they're drinking from the fountain of consciousness that you're drinking from too. So let them be great, because if we got to allow everybody to be great in order for this thing to do what it do. And that's what I saw on Saturday. Everybody was allowing everybody to be great. We were coming together mainly for a purpose, not to see somebody defeat someone, not to see somebody compete against somebody and beat somebody and embarrass somebody and besmirch somebody and devalue somebody. We were there to see the opposite of that. We were there to see people add value to people who they may have taken value from in the past, but you have the opportunity to give it back. You could give back what you've taken from certain people, or you could even attempt to do that. It might not work out, but at least you tried. Some people never even attempt to try. So multiple organizations, multiple personalities, multiple personas, multiple characteristics, multiple egos. You know what I'm talking about? People who I've noticed, who I know personally, have multiple altercations online. They were all in the same building. And this building, might I add, was a professional, upscale, upper echelon building. I'm talking about somewhere where broadcast television, Broadway, and everybody else with a way would be able to come through and patronize and feel comfortable and feel like, you know, like, oh, this is state of the art. It was that kind of building. All of these people were in that building, and yet and still there wasn't one nigga moment. And that's on everything that I know. And guess what? I could only speak for my experience. I can never speak for somebody else's experience. You know what I mean? I could only watch their Netflix special and find out what happened. I wasn't there. I only know what happened in my experience. And in my experience, there wasn't one nigga moment. Okay? Maybe one, but very small nigga shit, like a midget nigga moment. But there wasn't nothing going wrong. It moved like a well-oiled machine. I saw a display of some of the best musical talent that was called consciousness or wokeness, or people who are operating on a higher frequency have to offer. Real talk. The comedian who put on his comedic act, his name is Gerald Kelly. He's a heavyset dude with green eyes. He be on BET. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. He tore it down. He did his own Netflix special at SANETERTVAWARDS. Like, you could have chopped that segment and put that on Netflix and it would go platinum. So it was a great night. We racked up our awards. Decoder of the Year. Our names were mentioned amongst the great ones. Steve Coakley. If you don't know who Steve Coakley is, I'm giving you the opportunity to go and do the research. I don't blame it on you, because names like his is not mentioned by what should be a lot of people. A lot of people should be saying his name. Dr. Phil Valentine's lecture series, Bobby Hemmett's lecture series, Dr. Delbert Blair. I'm mentioning these names because in the community, these are known as the decoders. These brothers belong to a distinguished group of men and women who are decoders, who are the ones who are decoding the matrix, who are speaking things that are coming to existence 20 years later, 30 years later. If you go and watch 1990 and early 2000s, Bobby and Phil and Delbert, they're talking about everything that's going on right now. That is a super duper Snapple tap facts. As a I don't want to put too much out there, but we're making sure that you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about in the very near, like extremely soon. So I can only say that. But straight prophecies. And there were other lecturers that did their thing, but this distinct class right here of the decoders, the ones who were breaking down the movies. Phil Valentine broke down that first X-Men movie. He broke it down in a way that I've never heard somebody decode something, and it completely changed. Like, it was like a Rubik's Cube. It just began to change things for me. And then he decoded another movie, and everything began to like, there's a power in this thing. You know what I mean? Like, this thing, this maze, this spell that our people is under. You just can't break it with a damn rap song. You know what I'm talking about? Or a kale salad. You need some work. You know what I'm saying? You need some work. And this information is not the end all be all. The damn sure ain't the end all be all. It's not the end all be all at all, but it's a way to get to where you need to go. It's a Metro card, my nigga. You better learn how to swipe this shit. You know what I'm talking about? You better learn how to swipe it. So anyway, the event was dope, right? It wasn't bustling out of the seats like how the debates that I've been to, where people are coming when they smell blood and they come in to see the bodies drop. Niggas was almost falling off the balcony at the Alhambra Ballroom a few years back. The shit was bustling at the seams. It wasn't bustling at the seams. People wasn't falling off the balcony. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't shoulder to shoulder the way that, it should have been. But the people who showed up, they packed that shit out. You know what I'm talking about? They was there. The energy was on high. The legends was in the building. Baba Heru Samaj, Queen of Four, Professor James Smalls, Malik Zulu Shabazz was the host. And when if anybody sees the video, when you get to see the tape, you know, because I'm just prepping you for when you see the actual event, because eventually it will be public. Or if you have to purchase it, I'm giving you a review to say you definitely need to go and get that. That's Black history. You know, you listen, there's no room that anything that's personal, anything that's, you know what I mean, about your relationship with Sanetta that you might not like, or, you know, how you feel, what he should have done and what he didn't, that is completely, you know, warranted. But that doesn't have anything to do with the award show, because the brother is awarding, not him. The people voted. These were all nominees like they do in award shows. The people voted on who they wanted to be recognized as the winners for that year's category. That was the people's choice. And then the people who were receiving the awards are the people who are keeping the lights on in the world or the community that people are identifying as conscious. That me and my brother Blue Pill has identified. We put a valuation on this community at $444 billion. That's what the Bonchis community is worth. Okay? Why? Because they just put a report out in the Forbes magazine that the woke generation and the woke community is worth 44 billion. So if they're worth 44 billion, and we know what we know our intellectual property and the brands that we have and everything, and the people and the teachers and the pricelessness of a Queen of Four, of a Dr. Africa, of a Dr. Sabi, of a Professor James Smalls. You understand? The pricelessness of their intellectual property, of their genius, of their spirit, of what they represent, of their legacy, of their history, of the fruit that they're bearing, of the generations that they're look how many people, look how many Sabis Dr. Sabi has spawned. We don't die, we multiply. Look how many Sabis is going to be created as a result of Sabi coming here. You feel me? Look how many Dr. Francis Cress Wilsons are being born every day. Look how many Amos Wilsons are being born every day. Look how many Dr. Bens are being born every day. Look how many Dr. Blairs are being born every day. You may be like, there ain't no more Dr. Blairs. There couldn't be a Dr. Blair. Nobody can't be Dr. Blair. And I understand. And I'm not saying that nobody's going to be Dr. Blair, because nobody can be you but you. But what I'm saying, he's going to spark. He's going to be the divine spark. He's going to influence. He's going to teach. He's going to inundate. He's going to be the master teacher of a master student who is going to master the information and become a master him or herself. And that's not going to happen overnight. So these multiplications that are taking place, they are people that are incubating as we speak right now. You can't be so fast. I'm comfortable knowing that the next 100 years is good based off of the input of information that we so arduously have done over the last 15 years. And now what the brother Sanetta has done in his days and times, and the way he puts information out at the rate that he puts information out. You understand? He has taken up the mantle, and he's flooded what is known as the World Wide Web to a place where I don't think nobody who has melanin hasn't seen a conscious video. They haven't come across a video that either that brother produced or was responsible for, some of the content. And that's just a fact, you know what I mean? And I say that in all, sincerity, because I know that the brother, if he was one of those people who was super duper nerdy, where he crunched all of his analytics and all of his numbers, and he was able to follow all of the trajectory of his content, it would be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he would be able to give you numbers that will blow your mind away. So we need more SANETers. You know, if there's critics or critiques of what the brother doesn't do or what he should do, then you, young man, young woman, young alien, you should go out and put in double the work. You should elevate the level of, you should elevate the work to a higher level. You should build bridges and relationships with the content creators who exist, who need platforms to exist, because the content creators are creating content. And if there isn't a way to feed the content to millions and billions of people and thousands of people and hundreds of people, then the content doesn't serve its purpose. So the platforms are the outlets. The platforms are the institutions. You understand? The platforms are basically the new organizations in a sense. They represent what the old organizations don't represent. But in a sense, these platforms are like digital organizations. But the organizations are unique organizations because these organizations have multiple schools and multiple schools of discipline and multiple schools of thought inside of the platform. So you'll have a platform that has Moorish teachers, Moorish scholars, Moorish science. Then you have the Kemetic teachers, Kemetic science, Kemetic scholars. Then you have the Hebrew Israelite teachers who teach their history, their science, their doctrine, and there's other teachers amongst them, and they debate or they deal with cross-referencing the information to make sure the proper information or the most the most provable, you know what I'm saying, information is able to stand after it's critiqued. Now, I don't have a big problem with that kind of display of sharpening sword, because, warfare is intellectual, you know what I'm saying, as much as it's physical. Okay. So, in this community, people are definitely utilizing the mind state of warfare when they disseminate information, or when they approach information, or when they come up against information that's contrary to their information. You understand? And they're creating protagonist wars. They're creating situations that they could easily have avoided. Okay? Because how dare you in these days and times even have the opportunity to try to critique somebody when you don't even know what that person could bring to the table to help you do what it is that you're trying to do. Okay? You niggas don't go to your job site with those fucking attitudes. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas don't pull up on a job site talking about you won't work with a Mexican because they be riding on niggas in LA the same way that you be telling people that they shouldn't, be upset that they putting little kids from Tijuana in cages inside of goddamn empty Toys R Us's detention centers and whatnot. You know what I mean? You niggas don't go to work and say that you're not gonna work next to this nigga. You niggas don't go to motherfucking Chipotle and say that you're not gonna work with that nigga with the rainbow hair. You know what I'm talking about? Fruity. You didn't say that then. So cut it out with the stupid shit that y'all be doing online, because like I saw on Saturday's display, it was mad people who be trolling each other. When they get around each other, I could see all these niggas' cavities. All they doing is smiling and beguiling. They just hugging and, showing love. And that's a good thing, because you need to love instead of hate. Hate ain't gonna get us nowhere. Hate wouldn't have allowed that show to run seamlessly. Hate doesn't allow order. Hate creates chaos. that program was run with love. Okay? Program was run with love. And I'm not a paid, sponsor or whatnot. I'm not caping. I'm giving you the truth because, if the shit went like mad janky and messed up, then you would have heard that too. But if I'm lying, I'm flying. I doubt that you're going to hear that. People might not even say anything about it because they were actually anticipating the shit to flop. Similar to my performance. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Niggas thought that we was going to flop. I know some niggas personally that was trying to bet against the guard. So we couldn't let them down, bro. We couldn't give them niggas the night. So we did what we did. We made history that night. You know what I'm talking about? I'm honored to be a part of the first annual event. Shit. I put in a lot of work on that channel. I put in a lot of work. And you know what happened when I didn't agree with what the man was doing back in the days? This was like 2014. Me and him wasn't seeing eye to eye. Instead of me sitting back and throwing rocks and being a part of the peanut gallery and turning into a hater, what did I do? I went and worked with the brother because sometimes adversity brings about solutions. Sometimes you need a protagonist working with the antagonist, and that's where you could get your motherfucking results. It's the same way that you niggas be on your job, going back to your 9 to 5 at work. You're working with the dude who wants to hang you from a tree. But for somehow, y'all motherfuckers make things happen. Y'all make magic happen. You know what I mean? Like Magic in the Lakers. I mean, like Bird and Magic. Y'all seem to make all of this friction, all of this tenseness, because y'all not getting all happy-go-lucky and lazy with each other, all familiar with each other, playing around, and that leads to all kind of lack of discipline, and you don't get anything done. But when you're in a situation where you know that person could motherfucking fire you in any minute, or he could call you a nigga to your face, or he could act up and probably hook off and whatnot, you niggas get to working. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in those rooms. I've been in those spaces. I done seen it. Niggas get to working. You know what I'm talking about? There's no back talking. There's none of that keyboard shit that niggas be doing in the chats. So when I see us come together, we form like Voltron. The energy was crazy. The love was crazy. You know what I'm talking about? I was meeting people from all around the world. Like the globe came out. You know what I'm talking about? The globe came out. The women were beautiful. Everybody was dressed to the T, sharp. Some niggas came in their hood shit, but they were still sharp. You know what I'm talking about? Me, on the other hand, I had to put on I had to put the hard bottoms on. I had to dress up because look, I can't be receiving awards with a hoodie on, no offense to my hoodies and whatnot, it's not really an outfit that you need to accept an award in. But I figured that, I'm a grown ass man. I got children. I want to show my children when they get older, we look back at it. I want to make sure my representation was that of a man who has 2 children, and I was clean. You know what I'm talking about? And, I was dripping in sauce. Excuse me. Yeah, came through dripping. So, yeah, we did the damn thing. You know what I mean? Everybody was beautiful. Shout out to everybody who was, beautiful the same way that y'all was at the Black Power Wars 1 and 2. You know what I mean? The same way that y'all at Afro Punk. The same way that y'all at BAM, Dance Africa. The same way that y'all at the African International Arts Festival. We have beautiful people. I think we should really just focus on the beautiful people that is us and come up with solutions. And that brings me to another topic, or that brings me to another segment of tonight's show, and that's the Paradigm Shifters. Now, the Paradigm Shifters is a group of young men and women, okay? Men and women. And we, because I'm a member myself, we are dedicated to changing what is known as the paradigm, okay? So the reason why I'm qualified to be a paradigm shifter is because my attribute, red pill, denotes or, advocates for me to be a paradigm shifter, to change people's perception of reality, to change their paradigm, sort of like the Adjustment Bureau, to adjust them, right? Because that's what the pill and the red pill represented in the movie The Matrix. You was shifting. You took that pill, my nigga, it was over. Your paradigm was shifted. Similar to if you take some DMT. Similar to if you take your ass some acid or something, right? It's going to shift your paradigm, So the red pill or the twin pillars or the blue pillar, Law 44, Mr. 44, Fear of a Black and More Messiah, and everything else that we've contributed, Blueprint 322, all of the episodes of Know the Ledge Radio, all 700 episodes, all of the videos, all the 600 plus episodes that I got on YouTube. We just downloaded all of the content off of the YouTube, getting it ready for our Netflix streaming service. The streaming service, Netflix, that we talked about in 2014, is in its ending phase. It's in its last phase. You're almost going to become familiar with Netflix. So there's about, the content. We're heavy in content. We're consistent. We're persistent. You understand? This is a race. I'm looking around me. I don't see too many people next. It's not how you started, it's how you finish it. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of people that started the race, but Saturday's show reminded me that it's how you finish it. A lot of people are not running anymore. You know what I'm talking about? The niggas is looking like Drake in the wheelchair, not the Scorpion. They looking like my dude in Degrassi. Yeah, Jimmy. So, I don't know, man. I didn't know what to tell you. Hold on. Yeah. Form denotes function. That's right. So I had a reading done on my name, and it came to me on my 33rd birthday that my name is Philip. We have Philip and Paul, the life of Pablo and Felipe. My name is Philip. My brother's name is Paul. Philip means lover of horses. I was a polo fiend. So my loving of horses translated into Ralph Lauren. Then I began loving them thoroughbred, them horses with them nice backsides and that pony hair. Then I'm loving me some Ferraris. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, PHI is phi. Phi is fire. Fire is red. Woo. LLIP, because I don't got the L. I don't got the LIP. People would be like, 2 L's? I'm like Cool J. My mama gave me that LLIP. And when you flip LLIP around, whoop, it's PILL. So inside of my name is my purpose, red pill. So just like in the movie, I'm living my life by doing what? I'm living my life like it's golden because I ain't waking my people up. I'm living out my purpose. I'm living out my life in real time. I am the I am. I'm being. You know what I'm talking about? I'm being. I'm channeling. I'm pulling information. You know what I mean? I'm utilizing intuition to receive the information, to receive. You think that me and my brother are rehearsing before we're doing videos with anybody? Rich, Baba, Sanetta, you can ask anybody who's out there who witnessed when we set up to do the videos. There's no preparation. We're not doing our research. We're not going in our phones. We're not reading books and whatnot. We don't have a study session. We're doing this based off of the flow state. We're doing this based off of channeling on top of a grid, which is wherever we're standing. But more importantly, right there on that black dot on 125th Street, across the street from the Apollo, where man like Malcolm X and Ting, they stood on that grid right there and cooked and did the magic. So it doesn't matter where I'm at though, because you're going to be a king in whatever county that you stand. So the work that we do is ordained. The work that we do is coming from the divine side of things, it's coming from the divine. This is divinity. We're out here divining in real time. You niggas call it whatever you want to call it. It's decoding at the same time. It's divining, it's divination, it's divining, it's all kind of things. It's prophecy, it's prophesizing. It's all of these things taking place. It's all of these things taking place. So that's some real shit right there. Like that's Godding right there, because God is a verb. So when you want to talk about God and fam, you find yourself, you found your definition right there. That's Godding. Godding is being. Godding is doing. Being the doer, not the knower and the thinker, but the doer. You know what I mean? You have to do. Do you. Just do it. You feel me? These people are utilizing the logos. They're utilizing certain kind of words, symbol literacy and just word magic to do shit that you was doing and you should get back to doing. You know, the paradigm shifters are a group of young, intellectual, independent, pro-black, pro-Moorish, pro-Islamic, pro-guns, pro-family, pro-love, pro-life. Like I said earlier, the members of the organization range from a lot of members. I can't name all of them at the moment, but a few of them worth, if not all of them are worth mentioning, but a few of them I'm going to mention is our brother Pop Darby out of Houston, Texas, brother Raspy Rawls, my brother Derek Grace, my brother Rizza Islam, my brother 19 Keys, my brother Ben X, my brother Blue Pill, brother Red Pill. Now, collectively, amongst all of those brothers whose name that I just mentioned, collectively, I'm talking 10 million people. Collectively, 10 million. Collectively. Meaning that if you take everybody's networks, I don't like utilizing the word follower because there's nothing to follow. You know what I'm talking about? This is not follow my lead. You know what I mean? There's no following. Everybody's participating. Some people are part of the viewership, and I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? That's cool. But the people who are participating, who are utilizing the information, who are utilizing the times, who are utilizing the teachers and the information that they have to offer, and not waiting for somebody to throw a bone at them, or not waiting for somebody to do something for them. No, the doers, the one who wake up and you're putting it all on the line. You're putting it out there because you know that you figured this shit out, that this world is what you make it. This life is what you make it. This reality is what you make it. And once you realize that, then you start to make it. So for all of the makers that are out there in the maker community, all of the creatives that are out there in the creative community, all of the brothers and sisters that are out there doing what needs to be done to change their reality, to change their paradigm, to do what hasn't been done, you know what I mean, to take advantage of technology, to take advantage of what exists in front of them, to take advantage of thinking outside of the box. That's that you'll find a home, and you'll find similarities inside of the paradigm shifters. Okay, what we're going to be doing in the very near future is we're going to be going to multiple different states, and we're going to be gathering the membership. We're going to be gathering up, not just gathering the membership, but we're going to be assessing the skill set, assessing the talents, assessing the gifts, assessing many things that our brothers and sisters around America have to offer, and being able to show them how to commodify, monetize, and to put into action what it is that they have at their fingertips. So just look out. You'll be hearing from it. But, you know, when I get some footage of the event that took place yesterday, I'll put it on my page. I'll put some segments of it on my page. All right. But yeah, it was a wonderful event. The fam came out there deep. You know what I mean? A lot of new faces. One thing about the brothers, they're viral. They're on the internet, so they have a whole different network of people who they reach, because the internet is vast. You might not think so, but social media is completely vast. You can have a pocket of people or a network of people who listen to thousands of people who may listen to one person and never in their life heard of another person who's affiliated with that person. So, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The key is to bring those networks together. It's like the analogy that I said at the bar, at the spot yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. If you have a video that does 20,000 views, if you have a video that does 50,000 views, if you have a video that does 100,000 views, if you have a video that does 1 million views, just picture for one moment, if you were inside of a stadium, if you were inside of a football field, if you're getting 1 million views, you're inside of a country, goddammit, on top of a mountain, speaking to a whole nation. And you said to that nation, you did a lecture, right? Let's say that you did a 10-minute lecture, or you did a 10-minute presentation, or you showed an hour-long movie or a documentary, right? A film on a big screen. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about 4K, 8K, red camera type stuff, you know. And before this is over, I have an offer that I got to put out there to our people out there that are looking for some filmmakers with film sets and stuff. But picture everything that you know. Hold on. Yes, indeed, the revolution will definitely be listen, the revolution is being digitized. If you don't think that you're living inside of a revolution or an evolution, remember, revolution means to revolve. Inside of revolution, inside of the word revolution is revolve. So it's not coincidental, or it's no coinky dink that so many things that you've been taught about in the quote unquote past are actually in your reality of today, meaning that everything is coming back. Like we did the video showing how a lot of stuff from the 60s is coming back. A lot of stuff from the 70s is coming back. A lot of stuff from medieval periods are coming back. A lot of stuff from antebellum slavery is coming back. A lot of stuff from Jim Crow America is coming back. A lot of stuff from Civil War America is coming back. All of these feelings, all of these sentiments, all of these different, you know what I mean? Is it all of these souls coming back? Is it all of these spirits reincarnating on this planet coming back? Is that what they mean when they say it's coming back? Because what is it, a memory that's moving like a wave or something? You feel me? Because something has to be occurring for all of these different realities to be overlapping on top of each other, pancaking each other, to whereas we now exist in this pool, or we exist in this bowl where these realities are basically intertwined and they're playing out on the same level. Because that's what it's feeling like. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's feeling like. And it's like when I reminisce on older time sequences, or when I reminisce on childhood memories, or when I reminisce on the 90s, before the retros, when things were an original form, before the copy and before the duplicates, before the counterfeit, the canal shit. You know what I mean? It's almost like I have to access a different file. It's not part of this download. It's not part of, I'm going into some old floppy disk or some shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, this is definitely an interesting time that we live in. You know, like I said, as a result of the paradigms shifting, as a result of the people waking up, as a result of the perception of the collective not being collectively agreed to being under a spell, not collectively agreeing to be under the quote unquote spell, not agreeing to be under the quote unquote matrix. Remember, the matrix, the Mayans talked about the illusion. Okay, the Mayans talked about the matrix being the illusion. They talked about the veil. They talked about the fact that a lot of things is going on around you that you don't know. You're not aware of it because you're running off of a program that almost has you like a robot. Get up, eat breakfast, take the kids to school, go to your 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Hate being there. You know, basically just make it through the day, get on the train, come home, you know, pick up the kids, come home, cook some dinner, you know what I mean? Watch some TV, take a shower, go to bed. Like there's a routine that so many people go through that almost make them, you know, robotic. It's almost making them so routine that they're not able to break out of that mold. They're not able to have new experiences. They're not able to realize what life has to offer. You know what I mean? So they're looking at life and what it has to offer from the standpoint of being under a program or being programmed, or basically, you know, and I have to use the disclaimer that I'm not attacking, I'm not trying to insinuate that anybody not go to work tomorrow, not, you know, that there's a problem, that you having a job doesn't make you less conscious. I don't ever want anybody to think that or to think that I'm going there, because that's absurd, okay? When you become an independent, quote unquote, entrepreneur, you're going to be in a goddamn, you're going to be working the same, you're going to be even working harder, okay? You're even going to be working harder. The stream is about to end. I'm going to start it up again. You're going to even be working harder, bro. Like, don't get it messed up. You know, you're going to be responsible for so much more, you know, but there's going to be a level of freedom that you're going to experience. And that level of freedom that you experience, you can't buy that freedom. You know what I'm saying? You can't purchase that freedom from Neiman Marcus when you're working inside of the quote unquote behind enemy lines or the lion's den, or in a place where your skills or your labor is being utilized and your energy is being usurped, okay? And you're being undervalued and underappreciated. And it's almost as if a vampire or an energy vampire or something was sucking the life from you and making you cancerous and making you sick and making you upset with that routine, with that fake, you know what I mean, covered up racism that you thought was just some sarcasm, or you was just thinking that that was a dry sense of humor. All the while, the whole time, they was throwing mad darts at you and getting at you, you know what I mean, and making fun of your blackness or whatever they find funny, you know, because there's some funny finding people. So, you know, this reality is not real. I wouldn't advise, but I wouldn't speak against, or I wouldn't say no to the utilization of what is called psilocybin, magic mushrooms. You know what I mean? I wouldn't discourage you from experimenting with ayahuasca as a modality for healing, or to see what is behind what is known as the veil. I wouldn't discourage you from even experimenting with microdoses of DMT. You know what I'm saying? If that's what it is that you feel like you want to do, I would say, yo, do that shit. You only live once. You know what I mean? Come back and do some, you know what I mean? Come back and add on. Come back and create something. Come back and solve a problem. When you go on your DMT trip, my nigga, pack your Louis bags and go out there to solve a problem and come back with some genius shit like they doing in Silicon Valley. You know what they do in Silicon Valley? They sit back, they microdose, they pop mushrooms, they smoke hella good weed, and they come up with a bunch of problems to solve, and they outsource a lot of their data, a lot of their problem solving skills to India and Africa, Nigeria, and other places on the continent. You know what I mean? And those mathematicians and whatnot, and engineers, those are the ones who write the code, they write the algorithms, they solve some of the problems. You know, it's an outsourcing game. It's a conglomerate. It's not a one-man show. It's not a white man thing. It's not a European thing. When you talk about technology and enterprising and unicorns and, you know, app development and coding and all of this crazy, it's a global boom. It is a global affair. Please don't ever limit your minds. Don't ever limit your thoughts. Don't ever limit your reality. Don't create barriers and motherfucking cages like they put on the Mexicans. Don't create immigration, ICE, deportation cages around your motherfucking aura, okay? By thinking that somebody is doing something that they're not. Y'all give these pale people too much credit, bro. That has to stop. If anything has to fucking cease and desist, it's that shit right there. You know what I mean? That has to stop. We have to stop elevating them to supervillain status because these niggas are really just mini-me's. Those are your children. You know what I mean? These little niggas is more dangerous than white people. You know what I mean? The white people are your children. That's little son in them. These motherfuckers is this is your child. Okay? And you have to treat it as such. Like, you know what I mean? How would you treat a bad child? You're giving them too much credit, y'all. Y'all giving them way too much credit, bro. Way too much. Making them way too big. Elevating them and speaking about them in ways that only speak of your inferiority complexes or the way that you see yourself, not on a human level, family, but on a spiritual level. You must not have got that reading yet that lets you know how motherfucking powerful you are and how powerful your people are collectively. Because I don't care what the illusion appears as. The illusion may appear, or the illusion may fool you into thinking that Europeans or white people are ruling something, or they have their hand on something, or they're controlling or steering something, or they're in manifest destiny mode and they're still moving towards something that's glorious. And I'm here to let you know you're out of your fucking mind. That will prove to me the niggas don't keep their motherfucking nose in the ethers. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know where they keep their nose. I hope it ain't in the motherfucking powder room. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, because people be saying some crazy shit. But nigga, the cracker is dying out like the goddamn bumblebees are. Are you serious? The European, his government, the structure of his government, the structure of what is known as the system of white dominance, of white power is crumbling every single day. It would have fallen faster if the niggas wasn't in the way, holding up the hubris. Niggas with their pants down and with their motherfucking brains hanging. You know what I mean? They keep getting in the way. They the ones. It's these bedwenching ass. It's these people who think white people are God's fucking plan. You know what I mean? It's them. It's the niggas that keep being niggas, and the nigga energy actually fuels the parasite because the parasite is attached to the carcass of the Negro or the dead nigga or the nigga who can't grow past the knees. The leech, or the parasite or the tapeworm that's stopping that nigga is the motherfucking cracker. He's attached to niggas like that. They work in tandem. You know what I'm talking about? It's like I said before, the biggest drug dealer is only sitting in interrogation debriefing his employers. They all work. The Wire tried to show you that in so many ways. They all work in tandem. Even if it's unbeknownst to each other, they still work as a part of a certain kind of cycle. This is a perpetual cycle. This cycle has to go. This cycle is a meat grinder. This cycle is a cyclone of, deferred dreams. No, the only way that we will find out who we truly are is if we begin to focus on us. I don't care, to be honest with you, if there's a negative birth rate amongst European males and women's all around America. Look, that doesn't change anything in my book. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not throwing no picnics. I'm not rooting for the destruction of anybody. What I'm rooting for is justice. You understand? What I'm rooting for is balance. What I'm rooting for is some people who done got their house foreclosed on to move the fuck out. I'm just rooting for people I'm rooting for time to catch up with reality. So according to time, not what Red Pill said, not even what Red Pill read. You know what I mean? According to the time, the European time has been up. I don't give a fuck what kind of calculator you niggas is using. Texas Instrument, Siri, whatever the fuck you could find. You know what I mean? Like, their time is up, bro. The brother Rizza Islam said it at the thing. Their time was up in 1914. That's when the clock came ticking. And then their time was up. Guess who appeared on the scene in 1914? Noble Drew Ali. And then came Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And then came Elijah Muhammad. So ever since their time has been up, there has been a movement that started the same year that their time was up. And this movement has been in effect. And this movement has been trying to wake you niggas up, to prepare you for your time. It's not about them. Their time is up. They're only inside of the bando because you niggas are scared to move in. They'll only leave the house when you pull up. You're not prepared to take over the fucking reins. You're not prepared to take over the house. You're not prepared to take over the property. It's not them. It's us. Their time is up. They just want to listen to our music and, worship us. But only when we know that our time is up, that it's our time, and we act like that. You know what I mean? We cannot allow Black excellence to be, you know what I mean, when a bitch get her weave done and her shit is laid flat and you hashtag Black excellence. Like, y'all making a mockery of something that's sacred. You're making a mockery of the sciences. They're merging and blending consciousness with woke to water it down. We have to preserve. We have to extract. We have to draw the line and say woke is the marketplace. I'll be a woke rapper. I'll be a woke actor. You know what I'm talking about? Because I can't be a woke person because I can only act and play out that role. But I might as well go get a check and be a woke actor. But I can't be a woke rapper or none of that. That's just, I'm way beyond that. That's almost asking somebody who's an alma mater, you know what I'm talking about, a cum de laude cow, whatever, a valedictorian, to be a freshman again. I can't do it. But I understand what the woke marketplace is, and I'm not mad at it. You understand? Because you have to commodify the culture. You have to commodify your intellectual property. You have to add value and commodification. You have to be able to monetize your ideas, your concepts, your products, your prototypes, and your enterprises. You have to become serial entrepreneurs. You have to utilize filling in voids, being able to be the mastermind to see where the void is and creating the product or the service to fill in the void. Or if you a badass, you could pull some shit down from the ethers that has never been created. And then you could bring it to the forefront. And you too could play like Stephen Jobs. And you too could play the Bill Gates game. Because the way that this shit is being set up right now, this is a small time period where everything is possible. The future is being written right now, in the now. And this weekend showed me that, you know, whoever's writing my future has a very strong penmanship. They got that expert calligraphy pen. You know what I mean? Because it's a beautiful story. My story is the greatest story never told. You know what I mean? According to me, you know, shit. I don't know about your story. I would pay to see it though. I got $10 towards that shit. $9.99 or maybe the $7.99 Netflix. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at your story. I hope your shit is not gory. You know? So we have the ability to change our conditions. We have the ability to change our immediate conditions. We have the ability to do better. We have the ability to know better. We have the ability to do better. The only thing that's getting in our way is us. The only way to stopping you is you. That's the only person stopping you is you. Nobody's in your way. You're in your own damn way. You're self-sabotaging yourself. You're the motherfucking monster under your own bed. That's right. That's what I'm here to say. You know what I mean? And I'm only speaking to myself because I've recognized it in myself. I recognize that the true struggle, and I've recognized that the true war, and I've recognized that the true enemy is always within. So why is we focusing on anybody who's not even a part of our race? They're only the part of the duality that this law that we have to abide by inside of these human bodies, inside of this prison planet with all of these constructs like these man-made laws and whatnot. So as a result of that, there's what is known as the law of duality. So the law of duality says that the brown man don't like the red man, and that the white man don't like the black man. And you know, there's always an antagonist and a protagonist inside of the mythos. The red man, the white man, and the yellow man, who is like the Mongol, right? The Mongol. They have a historic gripe with the Mongolian, the quote-unquote white man, or the European, or the Indo-European. They have a historic gripe with the yellow man. I think they had more wars with the yellow man they didn't have more wars with the yellow man that they had with the black man, but they've had a substantial amount of destructive, catastrophic, murderous campaigns against people of Asian descent. What they did in Korea, right? Remember that? Remember Korea? It was in the 50s. What they did in Cambodia, right? What they did in Laos, what they did in Vietnam in the 70s and the 60s, what they did in Japan, not Hiroshima, right? Even before they dropped the bombs, what they did as a result of Pearl Harbor and whatnot. What they did in China with the Opium Wars, that was the white British. Now, I'm going, it's still the European. It's still the Europeans, just ones with funny accents. The Opium Wars, when they washed up the Chinese, like, they've had a gripe with them. So that duality thing is playing out. That's the law of duality. That's different tribes competing against each other. So I think that this has been something that's historically been at play. So I'm not going to utilize my brain computation power, or I'm not going to utilize my time, which is precious, and I'm not going to utilize my passion, you know what I'm saying, to try to explain to people who should have known, that to make it plain that that there's, you know, that there's an enemy within. And because of that enemy within, and because of the allure of the enemy within, and because of the quote unquote, you know, the fact that we don't necessarily know how to deal with that enemy within, we deal with projection. So we look for somebody else to blame. So we look for somebody else to get mad at. So we all pointing fingers and but we don't recognize that the whole black nation is sick. So we see white blood cells, or we see white cancerous people on the shores, or we see the white angel of death pulling up and setting up all kind of slaughterhouses, setting up all kind of FEMA camps, setting up all kind of walls around Mexico, setting up all kind of purge campaigns, setting up all kind of propaganda, setting up all kind of plays that stinks high a heaven to the highest of heavens of a Holocaust. I could smell the pork on the stove, yo. Like, I could hear them cooking. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's a result of a sick nation. That's a result of a nation that's living in fear based off of the fact that you are what you eat. That's off of a nation that needs to be cold because it's reached a point of entropy. It's reached a point of species terminus. It's actually asking to be cold. If the black race was a part of, it is a part of nature, but if you identified it in its nature, in its nature's term, the way that the race, the way that the race is behaving as a whole, the signals that it's sending to the universe, or the signals that the race is sending through nature, is that it doesn't want to exist anymore. There's a lot of people that belong to this race who are homosexuals. There's an alarming number of people who are species terminus. They are species terminus and they're not even homosexual. They're just working at Goldman Sachs and they're saying that I will never bear a child because the motherfucking bonus every Christmas at Goldman Sachs, I gotta keep that going. These niggas got bonuses, they got raises, you know what I mean? So I got Plan B and I got Zaddy. And I'm all the way up. My credit is going to climb to Kim Kardashian's. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be somebody. You know, shit crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy out here. But they've been plotting war on our people. They've been committing acts of treason, declarations of war. They've been committing acts of war on our people for a very long time. Okay? Our history, when we go and do the research, is littered and is filtered with stories about the fact that these people are not to be trusted. These people are not to be allowed to get close to the secrets. These people are not to be allowed to get close to anything that's sacred. These people don't respect any form of justice other than force. That's what our history has shown us. And if you niggas think something has changed other than the dot on the back of the range, then you're out of your rabbit ass mind. I'm going to let you motherfucking hold that. I'm going to let you stay with that. But where I'm from and where, you know what I mean? Like, no way, Jose. I'm not falling for that one. You know, I know that our people got to clean it up. Our people got to de-niggify. Our people got to get atonement. They have to settle some scores in the spiritual realm that Mr. Red Pill have nothing to do with. I got my own scores to settle, my nigga. I got my own demons to slay. You know what I mean? Like I got my cards and my chips, they fall where they may. You know what I mean? My cowrie shells, they're going to fall in a pattern that speaks to my unique experience. And yours are going to fall in your unique way to speak about your unique experience. But I'm on the path and I'm only giving you some motherfucking tools and a heads up to help extradite or to help speed up your motherfucking path. And I'm letting you know it's about self-discovery. It's about self-mastery. You understand? It's about self-reliability. It's about self-initiation. You know what I'm talking about? It's about being self-made. But there's never really such a word as self-made because you can't make yourself. Because anything that you're doing, even if you're independent, even if you're on a motherfucking block, even if you're in college, there's other people that are helping you. If you don't got no parents, there's somebody helping you. There's still somebody there. There's still somebody assisting. There's still somebody giving you, their seasons and reasons. So you have these angelic angles of light that come into your existence. That's you sending you to help you out so you could open up a door. It's like the Matrix with the Merovingian or my dude with the keys, the key maker or the key master. They come in, they open certain doors, they let you in those doors. You might not see them until your planets are in alignment 20 some odd years later and whatnot, and then you just walk right past them on, you know, Malcolm X Boulevard in Ghettosville, USA somewhere. Because, you know, that's my theory. That when certain planets are in alignment, that's when you meet. That's when you run into certain people from your school years. Like, that's when you run into certain exes. That's when you run into certain foes of yours. You know what I mean? You might run into the op, catch them lacking in traffic, shit like that. But that has a lot to do with the constellations and the alignments, because the constellations represent actual people that are walking on this planet. Nigga, you ever ran into a walking constellation? Huh? Never ran into a walking constellation, a walking star galaxy? I have. So, you know. I was talking about a concept earlier and I got off of it. It was about the fact that all of us collectively in the paradigm shifters, we have about 10 million collective viewerships. Now, our goal is to take that 10 million viewership and turn them into 10 million subscribers or 10 million members, okay, of the paradigm shifters. We want everybody to be a part of this collective. This is a collective movement. This collective movement is dealing with all solutions. This is not a collective movement to remind you about the problems that Black America has and how heavy it is and what we're not doing. This is a collective that's going to be demonstrating at every single stop and everywhere that we go, or every time that we're on your computers, what we're doing in real time, how we're applying the information and the knowledge, and how it's working, and how it's manifesting, and how it's creating bridges, and how it's opening up doors, and how it's knocking down walls on some Jericho's wall shit. You know what I mean? And how Babylon is falling as a result of the onslaught, as a result of the ongoing, as a result of the onward march, the onward assault of conscious information into the stream of consciousness of niggerdom. Because niggerdom is a place where the mental health has been compromised to a very high degree, and it's an insane asylum at the end of the day. So we want to get some good people up out of the motherfucking insane asylum and save them from the bowels and the pits of the seven hells. You know what I mean? Which is where most niggas live these days. Yeah, my nigga, you're in Dante's Inferno, bro. That's your motherfucking housing projects. It's Dante's Inferno. It's the 6th level of hell in the flesh. You know what I mean? You need to get some motherfucking spiritual baths. You need to do some readings. You need to live out your purpose. Maybe your purpose is to cook in hell because you're the forger of metallurgy, the forger of steel. You know what I mean? Maybe it's your job to round up some of the soldiers that exist inside of these realms that spit fire, the fire starters, the flamethrowers. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to be Anubis and be the one who goes into the underworld or into the darker side of things, you know what I mean? Or to the unknown and bring back some of that strength that we need, some of that protection that we need, some of that motherfucking warriors that we need. You understand? That's what we need, my dogs. And not people who are here to attack each other. People who are here to live for the concept of protecting one another. You know what I mean? Of doing what it takes, because business is war. So doing what it takes inside of warfare to advance the doctrine, to advance the brand, to advance the ideas and concepts, to advance the legacy. You should be willing to kill for that. You should be willing to go all the way to fuck in till you lose your teeth for that. You know what I'm talking about? And you could do it without being super masculine, hyper masculine, super violent. You know what I mean? Fake rah-rah, all of that barking, no biting. You know what I mean? No, all of that barking, no biting. The conscious community is a dog park where only barking is allowed. None of you niggas are biting, and all of the dogs are probably neutered. You're not biting anything. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of barking. So, no. Focus on those who are doing. So, focus on those who are doing. And you don't necessarily need an award to be special or to be important or to be relevant, you know what I mean? Or to be making a contribution or to be a part of the conversation. No, you know, that's a weak way of seeing things. That's a pessimistic, Europeanized, defeatist mentality. You know what I mean? It reeks of fuckboy fragrances. You know what I'm saying? It reeks of fuckboy musk. You know, don't put that oil on. You know, you need to focus on working with your brothers and your sisters by any means necessary. You are all that you have. That's another thing that this weekend showed me. We all we got. But if we keep focusing on all that we don't got or all that who don't got us, we're not going to get nowhere. We need to focus on, and not in a sexual way. We need to focus in on, and not in a worshiping way. We need to focus on, and not an infatuation type of way. We need to focus in on, and not an idolizing type of way. We need to focus in on, and not a following type of way. But we need to focus on each other in a way where we could just big up each other, empower each other, support each other. Don't just say support, actually support. You know what I mean? When a person knows that 100 people are going to come and purchase something, whether it's a scarf, a hat, a shirt, a record, anything, a drink, that's a great feeling. So we don't need to function on a society that is falling apart around us, and niggas make a religion and a motherfucking job out of pointing out buildings that are falling inside of motherfucking scene 6 of Inception. Why? If we focus on the buildings that are falling, you're only going to make more fall, right? Which is cool because Babylon is falling, and Babylon must fall at a faster pace in order for the Zion or the world that we are envisioning, you know what I'm saying, to arise. This Negro utopia will be allowed to grow afros and work in corporate, you know. But if we focus more on what is creating the quote-unquote falling of Babylon, if we focus more on the information, but the new 2.0, the actual application of the information, not the regurgitation of it, not the quote-unquote who could retain information and spit facts and whatnot from a, you know, not just that, because that's cool. I'm not adamantly against that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think that that's taking away from the other conversations that card carrying niggas are having. You know what I mean? So I'm a proponent for any kind of conversation that is of a thought provoking, you know what I mean? Standpoint. I applaud all conversations that are not dealing with fake Negro outrage, you know, uncontrolled emotions, clear mental health issues, because concepts of reality are something that are not in tandem with just reality. You know what I mean? You know, or, you know, those are conversations I could do without. But the healthier conversations, the ones that are dealing with solutions, the ones that are dealing with, you know, wonderful questions to bring about excellent answers, all of those are warranted. All of those are welcome. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the shit that makes you a better person. It's your interaction with other people. Do you know that Brother Rich makes me a better person? Do you know that Baba TV makes me a better person? Do you know that Sonetta TV makes me a better person? Do you know that Doggy Diamonds TV makes me a better person? Do you know Kia Life Productions and Kia Life TV makes me a better person? Do you know Mantis 29 makes me a better person? Do you know that all of these people actually make me a better person. Why? Because they're able to dig inside of my mind by asking me pertinent questions that allows me, the one who is digging for the diamonds inside of the mind, right, to search for an answer. And that answer is something that I'm able to pull from the best part of my mind, okay, from my faculties. And that allows me to become a better person once I get this information out of my mind, once I'm able to share these jewels, once I'm able to spit these gems that I'm just getting from, because remember, you're only as strong as the person who's asking you the question. You know what I mean? You can find the best answers inside of the best questions. So when the brothers, are there to engage with me, because engagement is key, especially in consciousness, is what you engage with, what you pay attention to, you know what I mean, what you focus on. That's what you give energy and life to. So we have we're cognizant of what we're focusing on, because I can't speak for everybody, but I've been doing this for over 10 years. This new media, internet, YouTube, streaming thing. We've been doing this from the DVD days, even before there was a YouTube. You know what I'm talking about? Even before the Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Nipplegate, the wardrobe malfunction, which is known as Nipplegate, is accredited as being the cause or one of the main reasons that YouTube is YouTube today. I bet you didn't know that. Do your research. Okay? The Nipplegate is one of the main reasons. YouTube was one of the only servers that was hosting Nipplegate, because it was getting scrubbed and erased from all other networks. As a result of the traffic that YouTube received because of Nipplegate, YouTube was thereby acquired by Google in the billions, and the rest is motherfucking .com history. Okay? So once again, the black woman is God, and her fucking nipple launched YouTube. So, when we stop giving them our nipples, when we stop giving them our power, when we stop giving them our sacred spaces, we are going to find ourselves in a more powerful place. That award show would have felt funny with people who are not affiliated with the frequency of the information and the concepts of what the schools of thought that we belong to stand for. That's a family affair. When you have a family affair, you only want to be amongst family. Now, we all live in a matrix, so to be only amongst family, that's something that's not possible. It's very possible. It's doable. It's a reality that's like a Thanos snap. That shit is nothing. That can happen overnight. That's something that we could do tomorrow. The same way that we show up in venues and it's only us, we can make it to where that shit will be only us for years. And it'll just start being more of us. You know what I mean? Those numbers will just grow. And it will be us. Yeah, that's a possibility. We live in a reality right now with all kind of technology, all kind of groundbreaking technology. You have no idea, just because it's not talked about on these videos and on YouTube. And don't think that it's not here. This shit exists. We just don't have time. Timing is key in a lot of things. We don't be having time to talk about everything because, there's so much to be talked about. There's so many codes to be broken. There's so many synchronicities. There's so many decoding to do. There's so many veils to lift back. There's so much adjustment to be done. There's so many pills to motherfucking sling. There's so many pills to pop. It's mad pills to pop. Kiki, you love me. You love me. Kiki. So, it's just, I don't know if our people are going to ever understand that collectively. But who gives a fuck? You know what I'm talking about? Because they don't make the world go round. You know, people who are vibrating inside of their race or their nation at the highest mentally or intellectually wise, according to my research, those people make things happen. Those people are the ones who you focus on. It's the intellectual sector or the intellectual class, you know, talking about, or the priesthood. Those are the ones that you don't focus on, the asses and the masses and stuff like that, because they're non-factors when it comes to certain things that are dealing with nationhood, the spiritual realm, you know, purpose, where the ancestors are going to work, how they're going to work, how, you know, all of that. Let's just keep focusing on greatness. It was just good this weekend. I had one of the best weekends in a very long time. The only thing that I didn't have was my children with me to experience that. You know what I mean? My daughter was supposed to be here. That didn't work out. And my son had just came back from LA yesterday. So he wasn't here to see his father receive an award. But they got to see that. Because daddy done sacrificed his whole life for this shit. You know what I'm talking about? They have to see the community pay homage to their father and give him accolades and give him his roses while he's alive. Like, they have to see that. So it's on tape, and they're going to see that, and we're going to watch it together, and I'm going to explain to them, this is why you don't get to spend time with me. This is why daddy be on the road like that. This is why every time that I leave and my son is crying and whatnot, you know, this is why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm doing this for. This is why you see me struggle for decades, for damn near over a decade, just making ends meet, making this shit do what it do on a no-string budget, while so many people came and picked up all the jewels that were being dropped, and niggas went to the scales and whatnot and cashed out, and you know, and just did what they had. They did what they did, selfishly though. You know what I mean? Selfishly, you know. Y'all have no idea what gets sacrificed in this quote unquote, you know, this conscious thing, like in this move, you know, I don't know what to call it, but in this experience that I've had, can't speak for nobody else. I be having consciousness anonymous, you know what I mean? And, you know, niggas be having some of the same issues. So it's not isolated to just me, but this is not an easy task. That's why, like I said, I've been here for a long time. You know how many motherfuckers I seen come and go? It's more people who came and go than people that's here right now. Do you know how many people have left this shit with their tail between their legs, bruh? Do you know how many motherfuckers have fouled out? Do you know how many people done tapped out? Do you know how many people are... Yo, don't play with me. This is a race, bro. And like Blue Pill said, I'm not even gassed up, because all this is me stopping on the side of the road. This is the water. This right here is the water that you get on the side of the road during the race. This is just acknowledgement, fam. You know what I mean? I don't get one penny for any of the YouTube videos that I've ever done. I got 650 plus videos. YouTube doesn't monetize nothing with Red Pill's name in it. They don't monetize anything with Red Pill's name in it. Like all of it, you know what I mean? Well, yes, they do. They be putting commercials in a lot of the videos. But niggas be thinking I'm getting rich off of these videos and I get paid and this is my hobby and this is my job. Like, no, retard. My job is selling clothes. Like, the fuck is you talking about? I have a business. I have a clothing business. Like, this is my business. When I'm on 125th Street, I'm not out there hanging out, just whistling the fucking girls, fam. Like, I'm doing business. Everybody who's seen me in the community since 2005 when I came to New York, first thing I did when I came to Harlem, I started doing business. You know what I'm talking about? Like, nobody's never seen me that I haven't been doing business. I haven't been doing commerce. I haven't been utilizing economics. You know what I'm saying? Not because I'm greedy. You know what I mean? Not because I want it all. Not because I'm a charlatan who's utilizing the symbols that they had laying around at the Met fucking museum. for my own personal gain. No, you bird ass nigga. I'm utilizing my ancient symbols. I don't know. Nigga, I didn't see you niggas in Kemet, so I can't even vouch for you. But I don't know what you was doing in the 18th dynasty, but I know what I was doing. So I'm back to take what's mine, my symbols and motifs that I had tattooed on my neck and I was draped in, you know what I mean, when I was going up against the Romans and the Grecos. And I'm applying it to today, motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I'm doing a great job at it because I've inspired hundreds of people to do the same thing. So I'm a pioneer when it comes to that. You know? And I'm honored to be a part of that legacy. You know? Fashion is a lot. Your wardrobe dictates. Look at this drip, bro. Look how far we've gotten with wardrobe. Look how far we've got in our war. Henceforth, emphasis on war. W-A-R, drobe. Big emphasis on war. If you niggas don't look like you're ready for war, then you're not going to go to war. How many war niggas is fighting with their pants under their ass? Inside of war, you need uniformity. We got to be able to count the heads. So inside of the army, all the niggas got to be wearing the same color. Because when we do head count, you don't want to get it fucked up because this nigga got polka dots and the other nigga got stripes and we all wearing green and whatnot. So uniformity is key. So what these clothes represent is uniformity. When I see one of my brothers in Kings County, or when I see one of my brothers in athletics, or when I see one of my brothers and sisters in ancient chemistry, or when I see one of my brothers and sisters in a paranormal, they look like God to me. They look royal. They look regal. Like this, it's an icebreaker. I'm able to talk to them because there's uniformity. When I see somebody with a copper crown, who's copper down, and a chopper in a copper town, making copper sounds, I salute them. You know what I'm talking about? I salute them. Look at that. That's the Black Panther, my nigga. With y'all, Killmonger forever. With T'Challa forever, right? Look. I salute them. Uniformity. I don't even gotta say nothing. I know where their minds is at, or I know where their minds is headed. So I'm out there doing commerce, minding my business. People walking by me like I don't even exist. In Harlem, 1,000 people walk by you until one person stop. Right? That's the ratio that I deal with. But one of the unique things about 125th Street, if anybody's in business and in marketing, business marketing majoring, you know that the corridor that is known at 125th Street, that business corridor is the most busiest business corridor in all of New York City. That's a Snapple fact. More busier than Fifth Avenue and Madison. This is from Minister Inky. This is for shout out to Minister Inky. Brother has some powerful products. His products work. KT the Usher Degree. Shout out to KT. His products work. So the impact that, you know, being a vendor or being a small business or being somebody where, because of the research that I was doing and because of the level of research that I was intaking and because of the fact that my matrix was being shattered every other day as I listened to Taj Tariq Bey, as I listened to Ras Mariah Bey, as I listened to all of the master teachers, as I listened to Morphil Valentine, as I listened to all of these people, they began to shatter my reality, break apart my comfort zone, challenge me to seek a reality or to create a world where people such as me and people who are on the same frequency or people who are vibrating at a certain kind of level were now able to come together and to basically work not only on ourselves, but work on the ideas, the ideals the concepts, the formulas that all of the great ones who came before us have already put out there. It just may need a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of WD-40, a little bit of squeegeing, a little bit of squeegee work. You feel me? But it's not a big task. A lot of the work has already been done. And we only have to apply the digital components that can take it into hyperspace in this quote unquote digital era. If you're not proficient or profound in that field, fret not, worry not. There are a contingency of people who exist inside of this network who are. You know what I'm talking about? There are a large amount of people who are ready to do that. They are equipped. They're certified to be able to do that. I know people who are legends inside of the quote unquote computer sector. Living legends. So don't worry about that. You know what I mean? People who look just like you are, heavily entrenched and heavily educated, you know what I'm saying, to a degree. And if the going gets rough, there's online academies of people of all complexions. If it's about complexion for you, if you need to hear it coming from a Eurasian, then you could find it online and strengthen your mind. You know what I mean? But the solutions exist. So it's a wonderful time to be alive. It's a wonderful time to be conscious. It's a wonderful time to be aware. It's a wonderful time to be on a path of enlightenment. It's a wonderful time to know thyself. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to get up here and, feed any kind of energy to a reality that doesn't even exist. You understand? The reality that exists in my third eye is a reality where my brothers and sisters who have reincarnated, you know what I mean? Rerouted, you know what I'm saying? Reanimated in these days and times for a specific task and a specific purpose, and for those that are living that purpose, and I meet a lot of people who are. I'm not out here judging nobody because there's a lot of disgruntled people out there that are very judgmental, and because of their lack of interaction with society. Some people are antisocial. Some people don't hit the concrete. They're not in the streets. Like, they're not rubbing elbows. They're on the internet. That's a totally different world. It's two different things. Like, standing in the street, building with the people, always rubbing elbows with the people, kissing the babies, like being everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? Like being accessible, being down to earth, versus somebody who you'll never see, and you'll only see them on your phone or your computer, and they're actually nervous in public. Like, that's two different experiences. It's completely different. Like, it's like apples and fucking eggs. You know what I mean? You have to stop being fooled by the matrix. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna suffer for the shit that you don't, learn. Like, I'm telling myself that, but I'm definitely telling you that. Like, utilize the art of discernment at all times. The stakes are high. This shit is on level 3.0 now. Like, it's not, the stakes are high. Like, this is a high stakes game. This community is worth $444 billion. And that's a fact. And I'll be able to prove that very soon. Like, make no mistake about it. You got that one coming to you. And we're going to take advantage of our valuation. We're going to take advantage of, the fact that this adds value to what it is that we do. And, the way that people even judge your worth inside of this community, the way that the promoters will treat you, the way that the promoters are able to, feel you. Oh, I didn't even talk about the performance. I don't even think I talked about that yet. Let me get into that. But, I think we should keep these awards going even more. Why stop with SANETA? Right? Why stop with SANETA? What danger or what detriment? Is any award show gonna ever put a black person in, or a brown person, or a beige person? What detriment, what hazard, or what harm is an award show, a ceremony, gonna inflict on God-loving, God-fearing black folk? So, if life is about adding value to others, appreciating other people for their contributions, working with other people, right, to improve the relationships amongst men and women, being able to complete tasks, being able to be recognized for your arduous work inside of a war where the people who are being rescued, right, from the gas chamber, rescued from the firing squad, rescued from the motherfucking train that was taking them to the concentration camp, rescued from the concentration camps. These people are being like, when I unplug somebody from the Matrix, when they take the red pill, I'm recon. This is a form of rescue, okay? Because where you were headed prior, when I it don't have to be me. I'm using the red pill as an example figuratively. Whenever you watch a video from anybody that's out there, and then wait, what's that? Oh shit, let me get more of that. What's going on? That's that rabbit hole that they showed you in the Matrix. You're going through the rabbit hole. You're binging on videos. You know what I'm talking about? You're waking up, you're slobbering on yourself. You still have your clothes on, and YouTube is playing. You know, you're tapped in, you're strapped in, but you're going through this rabbit hole. You're going through all of these emotions. You're going through all of these feelings. Your reality is being shattered on some Alice in the Wonderland shit. Everything that you thought you knew, you don't know. Or it's more to what you thought you knew. You know? And that's a beautiful thing. That's the revolution. Niggas talk about, oh, wait till the revolution. Nigga, the revolution is the fact that a nigga like me is on the internet teaching a nigga like you. That's revolutionary, bruh. I'm way more hooder than you. And you might be way more hooder than me. But guess what? That motherfucking Peckerwood and that nigga who's trying to sound like a white man, they're not teaching shit on it. They're not giving you information like people who look like me are giving you information. They're not giving you that angle of information. They're giving you some shit off of PBS. You know what I'm talking about. Stop playing. They're giving you the equivalent of some shit off of PBS. They're giving you the skip gates. They're skipping the motherfucking gate. They're skipping through the gate. They're not sitting there like they're a well-oiled student from UCLA, the University of the corner of Lexington Ave. No, the University of the corner of Lenox Avenue. They're not giving you that work. They're not breaking shit down. They're not peeling back onions on the motherfucking layer. They're just running to take credit for the heavy lifting that's been done by the mound builders. You know, the megalithic structure builders. Those teachers who have come along and just did monumental work. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's getting late though. It's getting late. We might have to call this a wrap. You know what I'm talking about? It's definitely getting late. But you know, kudos to everybody that's out there doing the work. You know, the UK, y'all should do an award show. The Caribbean, Y'all should be doing an award show. Brothers in T. Toronto, Canada. Why not? You know, give the people their flowers while they're alive. You know what I mean? Celebrate those who have been monumental in your transformation and in your awakening and your victorhood. They help you win the war. Your ass was losing the battles, but then in the ninth inning, some motherfucking horses came over the horizon, and people come with this information. This information is saving lives. It's helping niggas win the war against themselves. Okay? You know how many people who suicidal is in my inbox, and me and them is talking in the DM? Like, this, you know, this is real life. Like, this ain't play. This is every day is real, bro. Every single day is real. Y'all might see us smiling and dancing and tearing the stage up. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But every day is real, and it gets realer. Imagine the weight of knowing how many people depending on you every day. You know, that's a heavy weight. But as you can see, I've been in the gym lately, so I'm going to push that weight. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to push that weight because it's the motherfucking pressure that makes the diamond. It's the weight. It's the pressure. It's the, you know what I mean? It's that friction. It's that restriction that's going to chisel you up. It's going to complete the task. You know what I mean? So you just, you know, with Shameless Plug, Twin album. You know, the album is out. Double album. We got to perform. The performance was historic. How can I forget? I can't forget about that. As you can see, I'm tired though. It's like 4 o'clock. But the performance was a 10. I'm in the audience. I'm going to be the observer on this one. Shit was a 10, fam. The niggas came and turned the energy all the way up. You know what I mean? The audience was a little lackadaisical. I was looking at them through our other performances. It was a little too, you know what I mean? You know how the consciousness be, you know, a little conservative and, you know, puritanical. So the minute I came out, we was doing 3 energy songs. We started out with Made for This, Prince, and we were going to end it off with Twin. But they cut the show short. That's a whole nother story. I mean, everybody was running on time. So we came out and we did Made for This and Prince. And we bodied it. Energy, you know, pure energy. We had dancers, 2 beautiful dancers from Queen of Forest, Sacred Soul sisters. Sister Karma, you know what I'm saying? She was doing her thing. And Sister Zakia, who was her birthday, the goddess, both of the goddesses, they did their thing. They tore it up, you know what I'm saying? Camp Bada was there. You know what I mean? He was doing his thing. He won an award, Album of the Year. Shout out to him and Rich. Rich walked home with like 4 awards. He had a lot of hardware. So, you know, it was just a good day. You know what I'm talking about? It was a good day. You know, so look out for the video when it comes out. And check out our performance. And let me know how you like it. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up. All right? Yeah, them dances was fire. All right, well, the stream is ending. My Instagram stream is over. Yeah, so, what else? What we got? What's going on? Okay. Baltimore, August. We coming to be more. All right, we got the flyer at the beginning of the video. It should be at the end of the video as well. Baltimore, please come to this lecture that we're going to do on the media's manipulation on the minds of the children in this whole hip-hop deaf culture. All right, Fear of a Black Planet 2. This is the series that we started in Atlanta with Professor Griff. We're bringing it to the murder capital to be more, to body more. And we have information that's going to help these babies. So tell a friend and tell a friend. August, I believe that's the 17th and the 18th. We're performing as well. We're doing a performance. So it's a 2-day team. Check out the flyer. And then we're going to be in Norfolk at the House of Consciousness. That's a performance and a lecture. 2-day team. That's the 24th, 25th of August as well. So check out that flyer as well. All right. Love and light to the family. Y'all stay focused. You know what I mean? Stay on a high vibration. Stay hydrated. That fucking heat was bodying niggas at the festival. Stay hydrated. Stay woke. You know what I mean? And don't stay broke. Peace.